How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Godzilla, the MechaGodzilla 50th Anniversary Special. Actually, just a little bit ago, IDW put out a Godzilla 70th Anniversary Special, so I'm guessing they have plans to do a whole bunch of celebratory issues for different monsters on their anniversaries. And overall, this one is pretty fun. It's about this guy doing a series of interviews, all in connection with Dr. Sato, the supposed creator of MechaGodzilla, and he'll start to uncover a bit of conspiracy until he eventually comes face to face with the good doctor in the present. That being said, you know, like, most of this issue is a really good way to sort of recap different things from the movies. We will see original story pieces, but we also will see comic book versions of things from various MechaGodzilla movies, which is pretty cool. And to frame it in the story of this guy's life, a scientist trying to get revenge, and the reporter trying to uncover the truth and figuring out what he's really doing, it's a good character study story and an interesting framing mechanism to celebrate the character of MechaGodzilla. Overall, it was going pretty well until there was a bit of a bump in the road. When we do get to the present, obviously the Doctor is going to be up to something, but there's part of the plot that involves them sticking this giant gem on MechaGodzilla's head, and it has a stupid magical power. Now, don't get me wrong, I like it when Godzilla can get cheesy sometimes, and I do like cheesy stories in general, but everything has to be in its place, you know? We were doing a serious story, and it was a good serious story, and then all of a sudden we have an out-of-the-blue, super dumb and super cheesy moment. It wrecked the book for quite a few pages. I will say after the stumble, it did recover, and we actually led to a pretty good ending to this book. But yeah, for a little bit there, we got some goofy interference, and it almost wrecked the thing, but luckily it did recover. So yeah, it's not perfect, and I wish they had just found something else other than this stupid magic gem to put on MechaGodzilla. I think if you thought a little bit more, if you realized that was kind of dumb and you thought and you could eventually find out something better. But yeah, it's just that one element that did bug me. But overall, it's still fun enough. I guess if you guys want to see the comic in a little bit more detail, I'll switch to the close-up camera, and I'll do a bit of analysis of the plot and show you guys some of the artwork. I'll be avoiding major spoilers, though, so I'll try not to go too far towards the end. But if you want to see a little bit more, let's go ahead and switch over to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle, taking a closer look at Godzilla, MechaGodzilla 50th Anniversary Special. Right off the bat, I really do love the cover. Godzilla with MechaGodzilla there, and even the little version of that ship. IDW 25 years, one shot, $6.99 US cover A. But yeah, pretty cool there. Flip it to the back, mainly just an ad, but we do get 00111 and cover by Andrew Griffith. Cracking the book open, we get this fun page of the credits, and we get to see it's written by Rich Dovek and art by Andrew Griffith. And then after that, we get into the story proper. Now, I'm going to go ahead and dive in. I'll show you guys some of the story, a little bit of the art, and do a bit of analysis. I'll try to be avoiding major spoilers, and I'll try not to show too terribly much, but just know we're going to go ahead and dive into the plot. Anyway, we open up with Godzilla attacking the city, as he's one to do. I think this is supposed to be the very first attack, and we get the classic screork sound effect. Pretty cool stuff, but we get a character talking and telling a story, and it's this rescue worker who, in the rubble of the city, has found a young kid. His parents died, but this young kid's going to grow up and be a famous scientist. And then we pull back and see that it's not just a narrator, it's actually an interview within the story. And we get this character who's a reporter who's trying to do a piece on the scientist, and even though his boss is saying, oh, it's just a puff piece, just write something out really quickly, he's saying there's something more here. I can feel it. Something's up. We get to meet another one of his former associates who, after an accident, was in a wheelchair, but we get to see him tell this story, Godzilla looking off into the distance, when all of a sudden he's ambushed by another Godzilla, and they talk about, like, do you think he felt fear seeing himself, seeing his equal? But of course Godzilla's going to light that on fire, and once he's burnt away the outer shell, will reveal the first appearance of MechaGodzilla, the creation, supposedly, of Dr. Sato. This is, I think, from the first MechaGodzilla movie, so they're doing a movie scene, they're keeping it together, and they, of course, will raise the question, but is Godzilla actually evil? Should he be destroyed? But nah, that's crazy talk. Godzilla's done some horrible things. And then he'll get another interview. A mysterious man will be waiting in his hotel room, and he says, I used to work with him in the past, and drops the bombshell that maybe Dr. Sato didn't actually invent MechaGodzilla. Maybe it was someone else. And is that guy using the Ghostbusters PKE meter? Okay, that's beside the point. So we get a bit of a twist, and we do get sort of this guy's life story, his desperate quest for revenge. There's lots of interesting stuff, and getting to see scenes, some original, some from past movies, you know, and getting to do a character study. I thought that was pretty fun. Now, eventually, we will cut to him actually meeting Dr. Sato after a bit of a build-up, and then we'll get into the new stuff for this issue and what his plans are regarding MechaGodzilla. And there are some moments, but there are also some stupid moments in regards to MechaGodzilla having this stupid gem on his head. When they explain what this gem does, it's kind of magic, which the story didn't set up for magic before, and it's also kind of silly, and I don't mind silly Godzilla stories, but it set it up as a serious Godzilla story, so it was a bit of a silly tonal shift in what was honestly a pretty decent character study that I was enjoying. Once we get to that stupid gem moment, there are quite a few pages of dumb things happening, including some people getting way too close to a Godzilla fight. But I will say, at the very end, it does steady the ship out, and we do get a pretty interesting final few pages there. It's just one of those moments that gets really dumb really quick and almost derails the whole comic. Overall, though, it's a fun enough book. I like how it celebrates the character's history and, you know, looking at the many incarnations of MechaGodzilla. I think it's pretty fun, not the best thing ever, and definitely does have a huge fault in it. But overall, it's probably worth picking up, especially if you're huge MechaGodzilla fans. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Godzilla playlist, where you can see my reviews for some of the movies, but also a bunch of the comics as well, including Godzilla himself got a 70th anniversary, and that should be in there. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.